Today our topic is why philosophy is more relevant than ever today. In a world that moves so fast, where technology changes every day, and where we are always busy, it might seem strange to talk about philosophy. Some people think philosophy is old, boring, or just for people who like to think too much. But the truth is, philosophy is more important now than ever before. Let me tell you why. Philosophy is not just about big words or complicated ideas. It's about understanding life, asking the right questions, and finding ways to live better. In a world full of noise, confusion, and challenges, philosophy helps us slow down, think deeply, and make sense of things. It is like a guide that helps us navigate the difficulties of life. One of the reasons philosophy is so relevant today is because we live in a time of information overload. Every day, we are bombarded with news, social media, opinions, and advertisements. It is hard to know what is true or what really matters. Philosophy teaches us how to think critically. It helps us question what we see and hear, and not just accept everything at face value. For example, when we hear a news story, philosophy encourages us to ask, who is telling this story? What is their purpose? Are there other sides to this story? This kind of thinking is crucial in a world where fake news and misinformation are everywhere. Another reason philosophy is important is because it helps us deal with uncertainty. Life is full of unknowns. We don't know what will happen tomorrow, next week, or next year. This can make us feel anxious or stressed. But philosophy, especially Stoicism, teaches us how to accept what we cannot control and focus on what we can. The Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca believe that we cannot control everything in life, but we can control how we respond to it. This idea is very powerful. It reminds us that even in difficult times, we have the power to choose our attitude and our actions. For example, if you lose your job, you can feel hopeless, or you can see it as an opportunity to start something new. Philosophy gives us tools to face challenges with courage and resilience. Philosophy also helps us understand ourselves better. In a world where we are often told to chase success, money, and fame, philosophy asks us to think about what really matters. What is the purpose of life? What does it mean to be happy? These are big questions, but they are important. Many people spend their lives chasing things that don't bring them real happiness. Philosophy teaches us to reflect on our values and priorities. It encourages us to live a meaningful life, not just a busy one. For example, instead of always wanting more, philosophy might teach us to appreciate what we already have. This kind of thinking can lead to a more peaceful and satisfying life. Another reason philosophy is relevant today is because it helps us connect with others. In a world that is often divided by politics, religion, and culture, philosophy reminds us of our shared humanity. It encourages us to listen to different perspectives and understand people who are different from us. Philosophy teaches us empathy and compassion. For example, the philosopher Socrates believed that the best way to live is to care for our souls and to treat others with kindness. This idea is still important today. In a world where there is so much conflict, philosophy can help us build bridges and find common ground. Philosophy also helps us deal with the challenges of modern technology. While technology has brought many benefits, it has also created new problems. For example, social media can make us feel lonely or compare ourselves to others. Philosophy helps us think about how to use technology in a way that improves our lives, not harms them. It encourages us to ask questions like, how much time should we spend on our phones? What is the impact of technology on our relationships? These are important questions that philosophy can help us answer. Finally, philosophy is relevant because it teaches us how to live a good life. In a world where there is so much pressure to succeed, philosophy reminds us that success is not the only measure of a good life. It encourages us to think about what it means to be a good person, to live with integrity, and to contribute to the world in a positive way. For example, the philosopher Aristotle believed that the purpose of life is to achieve eudaimonia, which means flourishing or living well. This idea is still valuable today. It reminds us that a good life is not just about money or fame, but about living in a way that is true to our values. Our values and brings us joy. In conclusion, philosophy is more relevant than ever today because it helps us think critically, deal with uncertainty, understand ourselves, connect with others, navigate technology, and live a good life. It is not just for philosophers or academics. It is for everyone who wants to live a thoughtful and meaningful life. In a world that is often chaotic and confusing, philosophy is like a compass that helps us find our way. So, the next time you feel overwhelmed or unsure, remember the wisdom of philosophy. Take a moment to slow down, reflect, and ask the big questions. You might be surprised at how much clarity and peace it can bring. Philosophy is not just a subject to study, it is a way of life. And in today's world, we need it more than ever.